Everybody come and catch the show. You want dad jokes, they got plenty of those. So relax and listen on as Dev and Kyle start the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing over there, old man? Choking to death?
Choking to death. That went down the wrong tube. Oh.
We spend so much time talking about what we're drinking on this show for you to start choking to death during the intro song on a bottle of water really is kind of a rookie move.
Twice now. Oh, yeah. I tried to take a sip to get the first sip that I choked on down again, and that did not work.
Welcome everybody to Kyle watches Dev die on camera, and also Dev and Kyle start the apocalypse.
I'm dying on camera.
We're all dying whenever a camera is pointed at us, Dev.
You're born dying. We're getting deep from philosophical. This is going to be another philosophical deep cut episode.
I refuse to have the philosophical deep cut of this show be, we're all born dying.
We're all born dying.
It's been a long time since I was 14. That doesn't strike me as philosophical anymore.
You're closer to 14 than you are 100.
Not mentally.
Are you, though?
Yeah. I can imagine mentally what it will be like to be 100. I genuinely cannot imagine being 14 again.
What do you imagine being mentally 100 would be like? I genuinely want to know, because I just watched a video yesterday of this 103-year-old at a PGA event, and her name's Grandma Suzie. And all these PGA golfers, 12 of the top guys, love this woman to death. They wished her a happy birthday on her 100th birthday 3 years ago in 2020. And she is a diehard golfing fanatic, watches golf every weekend when there's a PGA event.
What else are you gonna
Cannot get a hold of her on Saturday and Sunday. If you call her during an event, she does not answer until it's over. Like that is word from her family.
Are we sure she knows how the phone works? She's 103.
Oh, yeah. 103. And she is very with it, very mentally sharp, very physically sharp. She was sitting down and just stood up. Her favorite golfer is Ricky Fowler. He came out. She just stood up, walks over and gives him a hug. I'm like, I hope I can get around that well when I'm in my 70s, much less when I'm in my hundreds, as this old lady was, Grandma Suzie. God rest her soul, her living soul. She's not dead. She's alive.
That'd be a real downer for you to be like, yeah, she was great and she looked amazing, and then somebody shot her.
And then Ricky Fowler just crushed your soul because he couldn't finish.
Hit her with a golf ball. Grandma Susie's one of those names that you really have to grow into. Like, I bet that was real weird when she was like 9.
I don't think she was probably going around as Grandma Suzie at 9. I mean, maybe she was.
I thought you said that was her name.
That's what she goes by now.
Oh. That makes more sense.
Are you pulling a me?
Pulling a you? I mean,
you're pulling a me. Don't pull my leg.
11 inches around.
For some reason, that laugh just reminded me of a great that we just lost recently, Mr. Paul Rubens.
Oh,
Pee-wee
yeah.
Herman.
Pee-wee sort of rise and fall was right there in my consciousness to not understand. Like, I was too young to understand the like crazy shit that he was doing and how nuts it was.
Yeah.
What he was getting away with on Saturday morning cartoons. And then, whatever.
Which now, looking back in retrospect, it was still pretty tame, but at the time it wasn't that tame.
No,
it was kind of
not at that
out. At that time, it was way over the top. Like, my parents really didn't like me watching Pee-wee Herman. I was allowed to because it was on Saturday morning cartoons. But at the same time, they were kind of like, there was this weirdness, like with Genie, Mecca-Lecca-Hi, You remember that shit.
What's weird about that? I remember that, but what's weird about it?
I guess I grew up in a strict Methodist / Baptist upbringing.
Mm.
And until I was about 11, 12 years old, that was kind of the structure. And that was kind of a weird, almost witchcrafty kind of thing, I guess. The genie.
Were you not allowed to read Harry Potter?
No, I mean, that was well after the fact. Harry Potter was when I was in late high school is when it came out.
Yeah, that's what I just remember being too old for Harry Potter when it came out. I'm also too old for Pokemon.
I read Harry Potter and Pokemon. I was into Pokemon.
I was too old for Pokemon.
My parents got more lenient as I got older and started realizing that some of the things that I was boxed into conservatively were maybe a little too strict and a little too over the top. But yeah, Pee-wee was kind of Pee-wee and Nickelodeon. You can't do that on television. I wasn't allowed to watch that. And Beavis and Butthead.
I was also not allowed to watch Beavis and Butthead.
But I still did.
Here's a funny one. So when I was growing up, we didn't have cable. So like we didn't have MTV in the house. We didn't have Nickelodeon. So I never saw any of those shows. But very specifically, in addition to not having cable, which prevented me from sneaking and watching Beavis and Butthead, then in addition to that, I wasn't allowed to watch Beavis and Butthead. Okay, fine. So I very specifically remember we went on, how did this go?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
We went on some trip to California.
Like an acid trip?
Nope. Just a road trip. We went to California. Okay. Oh, my father and my sister had one of those like father-daughter camping trips or like boating trips or something. And my mother was like, we'll just go along and then we'll meet up with you and we'll like add some time on at the end. So, okay, cool. So the first couple nights that we're there, my dad and sister went on
like Girl Scout kind of thing.
Yeah,
Brownies.
Something like that. And so just my mom and I back at the hotel room, and I'm like, Mom.
Not the Chris Hansen kind.
No, not like that.
Clarify that. Let's clarify.
Not the Chris, not even close. So we're back at the hotel. The hotel has cable. This is a big deal, right? I'm probably 14 in this story.
Does it have like the sign at the hotel that says HBO included?
In my mind's eye, I remember this being like the 2-story motel, just like your classic setup. And Mom, Beavis and Butthead is coming on right now. Come on. And she breaks down, good old mom. She's like, you know what? Go ahead.
It's time.
Go ahead.
Indulge.
We're on vacation. And I click it. And the fucking theme song comes on. And all of the power to the entire hotel went out in that moment. Power was off to the hotel for 2 hours at least. Oh. And like, this was before, there's no going back to it. By the time the power came back on, it was long over. They were on to cribs. Who knows what the fuck was on?
You got like the epileptic seizure intro with like the guitar, and then
it was over.
Produced and written and created by Mike Judge comes up on the screen, and then power out. You didn't even see them sitting on the couch yet.
I did not. Could not have been timed better to make having my mom give in plus or minus 5 minutes in either direction would not have been as heartbreaking. Yep. But to answer your earlier question about how do I envision myself at 100 years old, that's a callback to the first episode of this show, because I envision myself as the guy who can just tell people anything like, wait, that's Plymouth Rock over there. And I can just get away with all of it, which is not what happened when I was 14. And that's why I can't imagine losing the skill of just being able to say, this is how it is. And be the Walter Kronkite of all the people who are around me. I'll be the Walter Kronkite of the retirement home.
You're going to be the Kanye West of the retirement home.
God damn it, Dev.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Totally cool. You said it. It is on record.
It's not on a record, Dev. These are MP3s.
MP4.
No, they're MP3s. Sorry.
Well, damn it.
I mean, I guess we could switch to a video format. It could be.
We could make them MP4.
Yeah, we can make them. You just make them one better.
Yeah. MP3 plus one. It's like UB40.
UB41.
Well, I be 39.
I be 43. Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. Red wine.
I
There's so many people that don't understand any of what we just did right there.
no, well, we told them about it. No, we didn't. It was
we didn't.
US 3. So this is we didn't tell them about any of this.
We didn't.
Holy shit. My God.
There's this thing called Google Kids. If you don't understand
Kids?
the no, God bless. No, I'm.
They have
okay.
YouTube Kids.
There probably is. There is YouTube Kids. There should be Google Kids. That's a safe search.
YouTube Kids is worse than YouTube for your kids.
Don't Google Kids. Don't go out and Google Kids. That's not cool. Don't do that.
No, don't Google Kids. The FBI will be knocking on your door. Hey, we heard you've been Googling kids in here.
Don't Google your kids.
Don't Google anybody's kids.
Don't Facebook your kids either.
No. God, no. Oh, Jesus. I'm so my 12-year-old is like asking for social media and like starting to get connected to this. And I am having such a hard time explaining to him how happy I am that there was no such thing as Facebook until I was 26.
And I wish it was later.
Yeah. Like maybe never.
Honestly, never, because I see my parents on there now and I'm like, holy shit, you all have no business being on social media. You're not using it how you think you should. I mean, it started out okay. Both of them started out using it completely innocently. I'm like, all right, great. You're doing it right. You're liking things. You're connecting with old friends and family. You're doing it right. And then it became weaponized to a degree.
Those fucking algorithms, man. They get everybody.
Algorithm. Good God. It doesn't matter what social media platform it is. The algorithm is going to lasso you in and then start just force feeding you what it thinks you want to see.
Yep.
To placate to you. So it just makes your biases 10 times more biased.
The entire point is to get you to click.
Get you to click and just feed your anger and your most deepest desires.
Ooh, maybe that's not on Facebook, though. My deepest desires are not surfaced to me on Facebook.
I'm sure. Well, your deepest like hatred and things that you want to see come to fruition or things like that. Yeah.
It's that old journalistic, it bleeds, it leads, except instead of once a day, it's 20 times a minute.
Nonstop. Always in your face, getting notifications on your wrist now.
Go, every single person who's listening to this show right now, go and turn off all the notifications on your phone.
You will feel so much better after a week.
Just silence them all. You can keep them all. You can have them still all pop up. Stop them buzzing. Stop them making any noise.
Stop it to where it won't come up on your screen when your screen is blank, to where it won't pop up, to where you look at it as soon as you see that screen light up.
And then when you see one, the next time you look at your phone and you see one and you think, oh, I wish I would have heard that one, then go ahead and enable that one like a text message. When it really feels important, like, oh, your mom texted you 2 hours ago, go ahead and turn text messages from mom now are allowed to buzz and turn them back on one at a time like that. Try it out. I bet you could stop your blood pressure medication by the end of the month.
Yeah. There's certain people you should have on all the time. Like your parents.
No, God, no. I would not have my parents on my phone all the time.
Well, it depends. Okay. It depends. It depends on how often your parents are messaging you. If you've got a mom or dad that's like every hour just sending you updates of their life through text messages as like it's social media, then maybe don't have their notifications on, but have it to where if they send you 3 messages within something very short to where it would be an emergency, it would give you a notification.
I just told my mom she can share whatever she wants to share with me on Facebook Messenger, which then only comes to my computer because I uninstalled Facebook from my phone. And then if she needs me, she can text me. And she does actually bifurcate those 2 channels pretty well.
That's good.
It's not an original thought of mine. I think I may have even said it on this show. I am convinced that my grandchildren will ask me if we really did social media the way that we do it, the same way that my kids like ask my father, did doctors really smoke on TV when you were a kid? The same incredulity my grandkids will have for me. Do people would just go on there and just type whatever they wanted, and then it would just force feed you the algorithm? Yep. We didn't know how bad it was. We knew how bad it was. We did. Like the doctors smoking on TV knew how bad it was too. We knew.
It took a bit. It took a few years before it really sunk in to the majority of people.
If it went back to the way it used to be, it's fine. The thing that ruined it is the algorithm.
It did. If it would go back to how it was when Facebook first
came out,
Facebook and MySpace, and even the beginnings of Instagram and the beginnings of Snapchat, those kind of things, before the algorithms started to get involved in it, that's what really screwed it up. When AI joined the party to try to better it, it actually made it worse. It did give a lot of
it made it better at what they wanted it to do.
Exactly. That's the double-edged sword of AI.
They nailed it. They solved that problem.
And that's AI in a nutshell there. It does things better to the degree that the creator of the AI wants it to create something better.
That's very true. We have gone down a rabbit hole, Dev.
Wait, hold on. We went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
On this show. Never.
I could spend the rest of the episode talking about this, and I have been chomping at the bit. It's late for you tonight. I've been waiting for you to get home from your church picnic.
Not a real church picnic. Let's get this straight, because there's going to be so many people confused, because all the church picnics are technically done because school has started back. It's not a church picnic. It is a bastardized version of a church picnic because of 2020 with COVID, when we didn't have a church picnic. So we created this fest to replace it.
Wait, there's a church picnic season?
Yes. It's during the summer. Once schools are out, you've got like a 2-week period from the time that school ends where there's nothing. And then church picnic season starts. And then it's like, bam.
How often are you doing that?
I mean, literally almost every weekend during the summer, there's a church picnic somewhere.
Oh, shit. We don't do anything in the summer in Arizona, so that's why we're going to have a hurricane tomorrow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, in the desert.
Yeah, hurricane in the desert. We were at a pool party today, a back-to-school pool party at a school parent's house.
A back-to-pool party?
I said to her, if I told you that you were going to be worried about the weather for your August pool party because of a hurricane 3 weeks ago when you sent out these invitations, would you have believed me? The answer, of course, being no. But then it was just overcast today, so it was only like 95 degrees, so the kids were still in the pool, so it was gorgeous outside. So great hurricane weather. So thanks, hurricane. Please be kind to my friends in San Diego and Los Angeles. But it was great for us here in Arizona today.
A hurricane on the West Coast is so odd to begin with, though.
Yeah. So I think it's the first tropical storm warning ever in the history of the state of California.
That's why it's so odd. I was going to say, I've never...
The cold water protects them from the hurricanes.
Not with global warming.
Not anymore. But even, I mean, the cold water still protected them, because like 24 hours ago, it was a Category 4 hurricane out in the water. So it's a hard break when it hit the cool coastal waters. But
the cold water protected it, so it like sunk back into the body of the, like...
It's Mother Earth and Father Ocean. The hurricane just gets sucked right back in.
So California like got sucked back into Oregon?
It shrinks.
It's cold.
It's cold. I never saw that episode.
Wait, what?
We've talked about this. I've never watched.
I know. You're right. I know we talked about it, and it's still, it just baffles me, because it seems like you, of all people, there's certain shows that I would just...
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? I never said you people. I said you of all people, not you people.
Wow, Dev. I'm trying to tell you about the Viagra spider, and you won't let me get to the point.
Of the Viagra spider's penis?
No, your penis under the effects of the Viagra spider.
What the fuck?
I told you. I've been waiting all day to tell you this.
Well, I guess I'll sit back then and let you take the tip.
An Austrian, so not a place where fucked up spiders should be. The one in Europe, not the one on its own continent. An Austrian supermarket 45 miles west of Vienna is closed while they decontaminate the entire grocery store.
I saw this. The spider that if it bites you, it will cause...
Fucks your shit up.
That is like Viagra, but it could be so bad that it would kill you.
Correct. Now, your body is also affected by all the poison, but while you're dying of the spider poison, you just
have an unbearable.
Everyone's at attention, and that adds to the pain. Again, you saw this article. Did you notice the weird part of the article that no one else seemed to mention?
That they were testing this to be a replacement for Viagra?
Nope. That's not even weird. That's just sort of some cool extra information.
That they didn't try to kill it and then just like let it escape and went back to try to find it?
No, they tried to kill it. They missed, but that's still not it. Here it is. The story is that the produce manager was unpacking a box of bananas, and the spider is apparently just a big fucking spider.
Yeah, like tarantula size.
So the big fucking spider climbs out of the box of bananas while he attempts to smash it and fails, and then calls the authorities, who come, and no one can find the spider. And that's why the store has to be closed and decontaminated, because no one else was able to see the spider. No one else was able to see the spider. The produce manager in a Viennese supermarket knows exactly what the Viagra spider looks like on site. What the fuck is that guy's hobbies?
I never thought of that. I never thought of it in that way. Like maybe he's just an arachnid, and not arachnophobe, an arachnid.
Oh, an erecno-phile?
He's an erecno-phobe too. Or not an erecno-phobe, an erecnophiliac?
An erecno-phile.
An erecno-phile, yeah. An arachnophile and an erecno-phile. Scorpion.
Don't fucking go on. Damn it.
Step spider.
By the time the manager was able to contact the fire department, the spider has vanished. And since then, I wrote this down and bolded it in my notes. The arachnid had remained out of sight.
No one has seen it.
Ooh, I know what that is. A lot of people know a lot about spiders, but they don't know it's the fucking make dick work spider.
Maybe he planted it. Maybe this was all a grand scheme to try to just get other people get bit and see if it actually worked.
It's a John Hughes movie, trying to get himself bit and then go hit on the dry cleaning girl. Just be like, hey, baby, I just got pricked.
I got pricked. Do you want to see?
Maybe you want to get pricked?
Bum. Yeah, I did see the Viagra spider.
We can double team all 10 of you.
All 8 legs of the spider.
All 8 legs of the spider.
All 8 legs of the spider. Spider-Man ain't got nothing on Viagra spider.
Jesus. Imagine if Peter Parker got bit by... I mean, that has to be the new porn parody of Spider-Man, is that Spider-Man gets bitten by the radioactive Viagra spider.
And that's his superpower.
He's all his regular Spider-Man powers, and then this other one.
And then this superpower. Help me, Step Spider.
Stop. I did not bring that to your attention for you to use it to ruin the rest of the show.
Did Did it ruin last episode with the scorpions?
I think it did.
I don't know, because one of my friends told me different. He said he started saying it around work.
Oh God. If you work with that person, don't blame us. They are an adult and they are under their own control.
It might be a Fortune 500 company.
You were talking about 8 legs, 10 legs. I didn't really have a joke for this one, but I saw an article about how nature keeps evolving multiple creatures into crabs.
What?
Yeah. It was a very strange description, but apparently the classic crab shape, right? The oval with 5 legs and claws and no tail, and that's the important part here, has been evolved into that shape no less than 5 different and separate times around the world, like over the last 400 million years. It's basically like shrimp and lobster shaped creatures keep evolving into crab-like objects, but they are different kinds of false crabs, and there's only one true crab.
So are you saying that crabs are like the ultimate end all be all of creation?
I'm not saying that. Some evolutionary biologists were intimating at that while wearing crab suits. No, I don't.
Was South Park onto something with crab people?
I didn't see that episode. Is there a crab people episode?
Yes, there's a crab people. Crab people. Crab people, crab people. Look like crabs, talk like people. That's the song.
It's a great song. I would listen to that song.
You should listen to it right now. Literally, right now.
Right now?
You should YouTube crab people, South Park, and listen to it. So we can listen and hear and see
crab people, South Park.
If you're crab people, yeah, it's a whole episode. It's one of the greatest episodes of South Park, in my opinion. It's a classic. But the crab people theme song.
All right, I'll be back in a minute and a half, everybody. Hold on.
Crab people, crab people, crab people.
See now where we have been forced to live for 1,000 years. But soon we shall rule the land above, and mankind will be gone.
Gone? Crab people, crab people.
Crab people are too small and weak to take over man by force, and so we came up with our perfect plan. If you can't beat
What the fuck am I listening to?
change me.
He's a crab people.
I knew it. I knew gay people would never do this to their own kind.
When all the world is metrosexual, the crab people shall finally reign supreme.
Crab people, crab people. They just like crabs, talk like people. Crab people.
You'll never turn me into a metrosexual. I like being a dirty, filthy little boy.
Very well. If we can't make you into metrosexuals, then we will make you into crab people. Take that!
I told you it was the Queer Eye episode. All right, I'm back. I think that is even weirder for having no idea what the fuck is going on in the rest of that episode. Just that song. Fucked my shit up, man.
Oh, crab people. It's going to be stuck in your head. It's going to be an earworm for the next week.
Probably. You know what actually is now an earworm for my entire family, which is a great one. I'll put a link for this one. HYCYBH by Tom Cardy. Do you know that song?
Who? Tom Hardy? Like the actor?
Tom Cardy. No, Tom Cardy with a C.
No, don't know who Tom Cardy. Tom Cardigan?
So let's pause the show while you listen to this
I've seen
one.
this guy.
But have you
yes.
heard this one?
Have you checked your butthole?
Have you checked your
Yes.
butthole?
I have heard. Have you checked your butthole?
As happens in my house, the kids hear about things that maybe I wouldn't have shared with them, but they come to me and tell me about horrible things they discover on the internet. But every once in a while, they've got a gem that is, in fact, actually funny. And check out the show notes, everybody. But it's Have You Checked Your Butthole by Tom Cardy. And so now, anytime anyone in this family is missing anything,
have you checked your butthole?
No child or adult will miss an opportunity. We don't wait as long as Tom does in the song. There's a perfect amount of waiting that he prescribes in the song.
Yes.
We don't do that. Anyone misplaces anything, it's a contest to see who can shout, have you checked your butthole faster?
Have you checked your butthole? Have you checked a bee?
I had something on my notes because...
Have you checked your butthole?
I don't. I put it on my notes and then I don't have to check my butthole.
Sure?
We watched a few movies in the last couple of weeks, and out of nowhere, they were all dad movies. And I didn't realize.
Dad movie, like
just that the movie, like central to the plot was
a dad,
the father-son or father-child relationship.
Did they play Cat Stevens, father-son?
Not that I'm aware of, but we watched The Adam Project on Netflix.
Oh,
that Ryan Reynolds time travel movie.
You cried, didn't you?
Absolutely, I did. That's a tearjerker of a dad movie.
I was gonna say, if you didn't, you're a lying son of a bitch.
No,
and we can no longer be friends because I'm not friends with liars.
The movie's okay as a movie.
I thought it was a really good. I wouldn't say okay. I would say it was really good. Not great, not amazing, not fantastic.
Popcorn flicky. Just regular. You put it on and you enjoyed it. Nobody complains about watching the movie.
No.
Except my wife was like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, What? It did not go straight to the mother heartstrings the same way that it did the father heartstrings.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That one was just regular. And I saw that one coming, right? Even in the trailer, they're like, it's the time traveling kid. They give it away. Ryan Reynolds is a time traveler, comes back, meets his own father, the father who dies. It's fine. Okay. I didn't spoil anything. Watch the movie. If you're a father, keep some tissues handy. You're good.
I did not expect to be as emotional during that movie as I was, though. Correct. I expected to be like, all right, maybe get like a little misty-eyed, but it wasn't just misty-eyed. It was like...
They go hard into that.
Like, pause it because I might miss something so I can stop blubbering like a little bitch for a second.
So then another movie where I did not see the dad parts coming. We watched 65.
The dad parts?
Netflix. The dad
part. Was it hanging dong?
No, it just California just right back into Oregon.
It was cold.
65. I think I've seen it called 65 and I've seen it just called 65 million years ago. The Adam Driver dinosaur action movie.
Yeah. Haven't seen that one.
Okay. They don't explain any of the dad aspect in the trailer. So you should watch it. Again, just like it's not as good as Adam Project, even as a popcorn flick movie. But Adam Driver has a gun and dinosaurs are attacking him. And he uses those sci-fi weapons against the dinosaurs because they explain it before the credits even roll. They just explain to you that even though Adam Driver and all of the aliens on that planet look like people, they're aliens. Even though they all look like humans, they are aliens. And it is 65 million years ago. And then he's flying across the galaxy and an accident happens and his ship crash lands on Earth, but there's dinosaurs. There's no time travel in the movie. He's just an alien who looks like a human.
So it was like the precursor before the whistleblower admitted before Congress that we actually have been in contact with aliens. This was kind of like the laying the groundwork, the final laying of the groundwork film over the past 20 years of us being slowly leaked shit about aliens and multiverse shit.
Leak shit? That's gross.
Yeah, like, remember the Olay?
Oh, I do remember that. How
leakage?
Holy Olestra.
Olestra, yeah. Olene or whatever, Olay, yeah. And the chips, it'll make anal leakage.
I had completely forgotten about that. How I was talking about marketing with my oldest the other day and how you have to see, because he was talking about, and I don't know if this is true or not. I got 100% of the facts of this story from a 12-year-old boy. Okay. Anybody wants to Google it for me? I've done my one Googling for the night. He said that somewhere, someplace, they had a contest called Dub the Do. And
Dub the Do.
And you could
naming Mountain Dew,
just renaming Mountain Dew or subtitling Mountain Dew. He didn't know if you were just going to get to rename the whole thing or if it was like Mountain Dew. I don't know what it tastes the rainbow, like whatever their slogan is. That's not it.
That's Skittles. You're mixing Skittles and Mountain Dew together, which could be good. I don't know. Maybe if you take the Skittles and put it in the Mountain Dew, it adds like extra flavor. I don't know. I know if you like mix that shit with vodka, it's supposed to taste good in Jolly Ranchers.
I remember Jolly Rancher in a Zima.
Or in vodka. Same thing. Close enough.
But he said, according to him, it was just a free-form text field. But then if other people liked what you put, they could vote on it. So it wasn't 4 pre-approved messages or even 24 pre-approved messages. They allowed a free-form text field, and then other people could vote on that. And I can see from your face that you already understand how bad this is going to go.
Uh-huh.
He says that the contest was closed early when suddenly an overwhelming number of votes were flowing in for Hitler did nothing wrong.
What?
That's what he said.
What?
Which
That's
I believe.
Not what I was. That's not what I was. I was expecting it to be something along the lines of like, have you checked your butthole? Something like that.
No. How long have you been on the internet? There's no way that the number one vote getter for an open vote on the internet is going to be as tame as have you checked your butthole? There's no possible way.
Like something about your butt or something about your mom's butt. Something like that.
Nope.
But Hitler did nothing wrong. That is the last thing I would think would be the top vote getter.
Really?
Maybe in the top 10. Yeah, I could see top 10 because
it's the internet.
That's the fucking internet. But the top one, that makes me lose so much faith in humanity. Not that I had that much left to begin with. I mean, I gain some when I see those good Samaritan videos that pop up. Somebody doing something really just out of their way. It's really good for someone else that might be a detriment to themselves. And I gain some faith in humanity back. But then I hear shit like this.
It's also a Mountain Dew bottle, Dev. It's really low stakes.
Wow.
I'm just saying, like stopping to help an old woman across the street does way more for humanity than an internet contest about what to write on a Mountain Dew bottle. Like, let's really put it in perspective.
But a Mountain Dew bottle, there's so many people that drink Mountain Dew across the globe.
No one was stupid enough to print it.
Well, they weren't stupid enough to print it.
They closed the contest when it happened. My point was,
God, they closed the contest.
The intern who came up with the free text box idea
was not thinking.
You learn.
They thought it was a good idea, but it was not a good idea.
Welcome to the internet. We heard it's your first day. This is what happens out here. Next.
Did you learn your lesson this time?
Yeah. Did you learn your lesson?
What was the third movie that you watched? You said you watched 3 movies.
Oh, I didn't finish telling you about 65. Though.
65 million.
65 has almost no plot, but they shortcut a plot by just using dad heartstrings. It's not a real plot, but it's still, I was like in tears watching this going like, you motherfuckers didn't work on this plot at all. All you used was me being a dad.
Dinosaurs, aliens.
They were like dinosaurs and guns for the kids. And I was enjoying that part too. Like, oh, look, he's shooting dinosaurs. And then you're like, oh, he's being kind of weird. And he's being even more weird than Adam Driver usually is. Oh, that's where the weirdness comes from.
He's a dad.
And you know he's a dad from the opening scene. But then the plot progresses. You should watch it. Again, popcorn flick, enjoyable. The only thing that resembles a plot is the dad heartstrings, which are just real low. there's not a lot going on in that movie. They just put a gun in Adam Driver's hand. They were like, here, shoot at these green screen dinosaurs. And then we're going to do a couple of voiceovers and some interstitial cutbacks. And people will cry. And Adam's like, really? I don't even have to say anything and I'm going to get tears? Yeah, Adam, you might even get an Emmy if you stare at the camera.
And just quiver your lip and
emote.
And look like you're going to cry. Just
It worked. It worked. Regardless of how my logical brain, my way above the monkey settings at the top was just looking down on my lizard brain like, really? That's going to fucking get you? And the lizard brain was just like, he's got a child.
Cry.
Yeah.
Tears.
And then the third dad movie was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Dad is essential.
An asshole.
To the plot of that movie. So that's how that one goes. Those were the three movies, but it was an all dad movie marathon. And I didn't know that was happening when the boys started watching movies.
3 is better than 2.
I haven't seen 3 yet. That's what we're working up towards.
I watched 3 last week.
Is it good?
Was not expecting the emotional aspect of it. Very good.
Is it a dad emotion or is it just like regular emotions?
It's dad emotions, but regular emotions, animal and friend emotions, just loss. The emotions of loss. Yeah.
I gotcha.
I guess that's the best. It's one of the central plots of the film is loss and dealing with loss and moving on and growing from loss. I
don't know if I want to get this deep, but I just, and again, tell us if the answer to this question is a spoiler, right? So I'm going to put it up to you. Don't give me the spoiler.
Spoiler.
Be very conscious for our listeners on the subject of loss. Do any of the characters consider checking their buttholes?
I don't think they would find what they've lost there.
Like Bono? What you looking for?
They would not find what they were looking for in their buttholes. But you know what they might find in their buttholes?
Yeah! Please laugh.
It's summertime in the top half of the world, Apocalyptos, and many of you will be at the beach or the pool craving a margarita or a refreshing drink. With the Blendjet 2, the ultimate portable blender, that craving can now be satisfied. It's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but powerful enough to blast through tough ingredients like ice and frozen fruit with ease. Blendjet 2 is portable, so you can blend up a smoothie at work, a protein shake at the gym, or even that margarita on the beach. It's whisper quiet, ensuring you can enjoy your morning smoothie without waking up the whole house. It lasts for over 15 blends, recharges quickly via USB-C, and it even cleans itself. Just blend water with a drop of soap and you're good to go. Available in over 30 colors and patterns, there's a Blendjet 2 for every taste and style. What are you waiting for? Go to blendjet.com and grab yours today. And be sure to use the promo code devandkyle, DEVANDKYLE, to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. No other portable blender on the market comes close to the quality, power, and innovation of the Blendjet 2. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back. Blend anytime, anywhere with the Blendjet 2 portable blender. Go to blendjet.com and the promo code devandkyle to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. Shop today and get the best deal ever.
You would not stop talking about Scorpion twins. So I brought you another Scorpion joke.
Oh, God.
What do you get when you cross an octopus with a scorpion?
I don't even want to guess.
A freeze on your funding and an immediate visit from the ethics committee.
What? An intellectual joke for the scientific research community. There are some scholars that are going, guffaw.
Well, I mean, this is a real intellectual show. for every researcher out there.
You have to have a 140 IQ to understand our show.
Easily.
Just like Rick and Morty.
If you're not laughing at this entire show, it is because you have scientifically less than 140 IQ. That's the problem. It's you, not us.
It's because you are an ignoramus, an ignoramus, an ignoharmonica.
Speaking of the intelligentsia looking down on the common man, you know I'm a fan of a crossword puzzle every now and then, all the time.
Only when you have somebody to help you.
That's true. I found out that the New York Times,
It's a newspaper,
used to fucking hate crossword puzzles. So the crossword puzzle was invented in the early 20th century, 19 teens, 19 whatevers, right? The New York Times did not publish their first crossword puzzle until 1942 for it to become, the New York Times crossword puzzle. It has not always been that way.
It hasn't even been 100 years yet.
No, it hasn't.
Math.
They published for 10 years at a stretch. Apparently the dawn of the crossword puzzle took the world by storm, a la any other fad that people hate, and people reacted. The conservative people are like, I don't get it. These kids today with their fucking crossword puzzles and their flapper dancing doesn't make any sense. They published, I have a whole bunch of quotes from these editorials, but this one's my favorite. Over 10 million people spent half an hour each day working out the puzzles when they should be working. This lost to productive activity of far more time than is lost by labor strikes. End quote.
That's some grade A fear mongering right there.
But also, he's writing this down at the invention of the labor union, right? And again, labor unions who were formed with the idea of maybe 6-year-olds shouldn't be coal miners.
Maybe.
Let's maybe band together and see if we could change that. Not arguing against the 5-day work week.
That's the new argument.
So the labor unions at the time had a lot to complain about. And this guy starts with a disdain for labor strikes and then is like, well, you know what's worse?
Crossword puzzles.
People enjoying themselves doing a crossword or two.
People exercising the muscle in their brain.
In their brain.
Which is their brain. The muscle in their brain, which is their brain. The muscle in their skull.
Is the brain a muscle? People call it a muscle, but I don't think it's a muscle.
I don't think it is either.
But what is it, though?
I mean, it has nerves.
It's just an organ.
Which, an organ with nerves? It's gray matter.
That's it. It's just gray matter. We can't, with all these big brains and all these heads, we can't come up with a better classification of just gray matter.
If it don't mind, it don't matter.
Got my money on my mind and my mind on gray matter.
What? Snoop Dogg, if he were dead, would be rolling in his grave.
Well, I'm glad Snoop's not dead.
He's rolling in his purple mattress.
He's rolling in cash. That guy.
Yeah, he's rolling in his cash mattress.
Snoop is, I think, just quintessential fucking Gen X, the tameness that we all came out of the gate just sort of not knowing what was going on, Gen X wise, and just a point of view, Nirvana and Janine Garofalo and Plaid, just like we don't know.
Janine Garofalo? What? Nirvana and Janine Garofalo? What the fuck correlation is that?
What is more 90s than Plaid Flannel, Nirvana, and Janine Garofalo? What is more 90s than that combination?
The Simpsons?
Crystal Pepsi? Nope. Simpsons are the 80s. They're and now that they've gone on for so long, the Simpsons are just
eternal.
Yeah. There's nothing more 90s than that combination. And then Snoop Dogg. Angry Snoop Dogg.
Michael Jordan is 90s.
But also 80s. But yeah, I mean, the Bulls not losing is certainly a fixture of the 90s. That's true.
Super Nintendo,
very 90s. Mm-hmm.
Nintendo.
You could get Janine Garofalo on a Yoshi.
The Dallas Cowboys on a Super Nintendo game.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Dallas Cowboys winning.
That's yeah. The Dallas Cowboys winning.
Nothing more 90s than that.
And the Bulls winning. The Bulls winning and the Cowboys winning. There's nothing more 90s than that.
That is true. What about what other sports teams do you like?
Are we gonna go there?
Yeah, we are. I think we've already gone there.
Why are we degrading my teams and their lackluster winning?
Listen, all of your teams have won.
All the other teams have won more recently. Everybody else has won more recently. It's just the Cowboys and the Bulls that suck.
I guess the Red Sox did win a few recently.
2018 is 5 years ago.
That's fairly recently. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pre-pandemic. Feels like it's 84 years ago. 2015
is
even more pre-pandemic.
Under 10 years.
Nothing that happened before 2020 counts anymore.
2012 is
also before 2020.
Just over 10 years, barely.
For those playing the Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse home game, 2012 will be scored as before 2020.
Math checks out. I'll allow it.
Thank you, Peter Jennings.
Thanks, Tom Brokaw. Peter Jennings. God rest his cancer-ridden soul.
Wow.
I said it in a good way. I said, God rest his cancer-ridden soul.
I didn't mean that in a bad way.
No, I meant it in a positive, like, God bless him.
Yeah. This positively had cancer.
He did.
I think the worst part about what you just said is that you equated cancer and Canada, like that they were exactly the same thing. Just because he's Canadian,
I mean, let's just put it this way. If they weren't somewhat the same way, Canada would have won a Stanley Cup in the past 30 years.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah, I went there.
Send all of your hate mail to Dev N. Kyle.
Especially you, Quebec.
sta@gmail.com. That's all the hate mail goes there. On that note, I have been astonished at the things Dev was willing to say. And I have been Kyle.
And I have been Dev. And I'm not Quebec without a team.
And we have succeeded in starting the apocalypse.
Especially in Canada. You suck at hockey.
Good night, everybody.
Get good. VTF for tout Canada.
Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse is brought to you every other week with a full archive available at devnkyle.com. The Apocalypse theme and other music in the show is written and performed by Chase Noseworthy. He's Chase Noseworthy on YouTube or at NoseworthyChase on Twitter. All graphic design for Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse has been created by Dead Vision. Find her work on Twitter and Insta at XDADOTTER and book her immense talents at XDADOTTER.com. Audio engineering provided by Cassandra Umsong. She can make you sound even better than Dev and Kyle because you'll provide much better raw materials. Get in touch with her on Twitter at coffeewithcoom. That's coffee with C-O-U-M. Dev and Kyle support artists and creatives of all types. Exposure is for film. Artists need compensation. If you're interested in becoming an apocalypto to help keep supporting all of the artists who make Dev and Kyle sound passably professional, please consider becoming a sustaining patron at patreon.com/devandkyle. Show notes, transcripts, and any other information from this episode should be available at devandkyle.com if Dev and or Kyle did their job. Fingers crossed. Finally, deeply and sincerely, Dev and Kyle think that you are a wonderful person who deserves love and compassion. We hope our small gift of what we consider interesting or entertaining has made your day even the tiniest bit better. Thank you for liking or subscribing in your favorite podcast app. And if you think others may want to know about this show, consider leaving a review in that same podcast app. It really helps us spread the word. Thank you.